Hi, eighth graders. It's Ms. Thabby, your school counselor, but not for much longer. Most of you are going to be moving on to the ninth grade, so I wanted to give you some tips for the summer and for the upcoming year. Unfortunately, the reason why you may be getting this video is because you have been retained or that you have been listed as facing retention. And what that means is that you don't have enough credits to move on to the ninth grade. You have a few choices when this happens. One of them is to repeat eighth grade with us again at NVLA. Another is to go to an eighth grade at an in person school. And then another is to try and enroll in ninth grade at a high school near you. So you do have some choices. Just because you have been retained or you are facing retention doesn't mean that you can't move forward. It just means that according to the records that we have and according to the work that you've done, you don't have enough credits to be promoted with all of the credits that you should have earned to be able to go on to high school. So there have been a lot of questions, and I know that people have a lot of concerns, and I want to make sure that I answer some of them. This does not mean that you are a terrible student and that you will never be able to recover. This does not mean that you can't be successful at a virtual school again. It doesn't mean that you are a failure. It just means that there were some credits that you were in class to do, and for whatever reason, you didn't do them. Maybe you didn't understand them. Maybe there was a lot going on at home and you didn't go to class. Maybe you were struggling with some things. Whatever it is, it didn't get done. And that's okay. This is a chance to learn from that mistake and to try again and be a little better and be a little bit more aware, because your parents can't be there to do everything for you. You're going to have to be able to make some choices on your own that are going to help you be the best that you can be. And as much as your teachers and the people around you want to help you, the biggest person that is going to be your biggest cheerleader and your biggest motivator really is going to be you. We can have people around us help us, but it is not our fault if we do something that we had control over and we just didn't get it done. It's called learning from our mistakes and realizing that we have more power to do that and to make things better. So, I want you to consider this as an opportunity to look at how middle school was and decide, do you want to keep going the same way, or do you want to try something different for high school or for the year coming up? I want to talk to you about some of the choices that you have for the next year. This is good for you, for your parents, the grown up that's in charge of you. And this next step is really important. And so I wanted to make sure you had all the choices you could have to know what options were available to you. And that's why I did this video. So I'm going to show you um, a little frequently asked questions that I made, and we're going to go through it together. Really quickly, my student doesn't have enough credits for promotion. Now what? So you could be the student, you could be the family, but this is what that means. Based on requirements for the state of Nevada and Clark County School District, your student has not demonstrated that they have sufficient academic understanding to be promoted to the next grade level. Based on grades and test scores, this means they have failed eighth grade and possibly other grades as well. Effectively, it is recommended by the school and the state that they repeat the eighth grade. So by law, we can't say, okay, you don't have everything, you can just go to high school. It's okay. We have to say, no, you don't have everything that you need to go to high school. And there's some choices there, but we have to let you know. All right. So a lot of you have already received notices that you were failing third quarter. that you were failing fourth quarter, maybe even that you were failing last semester. So for many of you, this should not be new news. We've given you lots of notices that things weren't going so hot. And now this is the consequence of those choices. Okay? This means that any 8th grade student who wants to remain at NVLA the following school year and takes no action to enroll at another school will be enrolled as repeating the 8th grade. So if you don't go to a different school to enroll there and you are retained, that means you stay with us next year. That's what happens. That's no action, right? So here's one of the questions that I get. Is summer school an option to make up credits? Absolutely. All right. If you're missing a couple of semesters, you can earn the credits easily for promotion during summer school. This is not a problem. Then in the fall, you can come back to us if you want to stay at NVLA and do 9th grade, or you can go to a different high school. You can attend a credit retrieval session with Apex. That's what some of you have been doing already this year. That's the self-directed class where you fill out, you complete the tests, and then they unlock. And then by the end, when you've done all the tests, you get credit for that class for that semester. So what about, and then you can register here. I have it all right here. You just click, you put in your name and your information, your parents sign you up. It's easy. All right. Well, what about if you're missing more than one credit? Let's say you've got a lot of semesters of work to do. Let's say you're really behind. So we have Apex. Also, if you are recommended you want to try and go to high school and you know you don't have those credits, and you know you're going to go in person, I really, really, really recommend that you take summer school for at least pre-algebra. Almost every single person that's being retained is missing math credits. I know math is not fun for everyone. I know it's really hard. It was definitely the subject I was at least good at in school, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means that it's hard and you may need to ask for help. You may need to raise your hand. You may need to spend a little bit more time working at it, but that doesn't mean that you're dumb or that you're stupid. It just means that math is hard for you and it can get easier with practice, but you have to do the things to help it get easier. That means like doing your work, asking questions, learning, like memorizing math, your multiplication tables, whatever it is to help you get better. Okay. I highly recommend that in person. So there's also a summer enrichment option for summer school. You can sign up right there. You can choose the Apex option, or you can choose the in-person pre-algebra. If you want to try doing pre-algebra with NVLA, or if you're going to do the Apex, the credit retrieval, I really, really, really encourage parents to have a grown-up, an older sibling, someone that can help keep them motivated when they don't want to do the work, because Apex is, it's kind of dry and it does take a lot of self-motivation to get it done. So have a goal, have a friend supporting you, whatever it takes to get through it so that you can move on to high school. Okay, that's what Apex is for. What about students who need more than one credit? Oh, we just did that one. What if you're only missing one semester? Okay, so this is just one semester of the class. Let's say you passed all of math in 7th grade, but you failed pre-algebra the first semester and you failed pre-algebra this semester. You only need one semester to be able to go to high school. And so what that means is that you are on academic probation. So, Ms. Fabi, what does that mean? We will only accept former NVLA students or middle school students to go to NVLA if they have all of the credits that they need for promotion. That's very important to remember. We already know that you know the process of how school goes, and if you're not successful now, high school is harder. And I want you to keep that in mind. If you decide that you want to go to NVLA and you don't have all the credits that you need, I really think it's time to do some soul searching and decide, do I want to work for this and keep going to NVLA, or would it be better for me if I tried an in-person school or another online program somewhere else? All right, so think about what would be best for you. So on academic probation, you have a couple of options. If you're only missing one semester, we will promote you under academic probation. And that means that we tell the school that you are missing one credit, but that you have earned enough credits that if they are willing to accept you, you can register. It's a conditional acceptance. If you are, this means though that you're not officially promoted. You don't have all the credits that you need for promotion. It just means that they will allow you to register. It depends on the school, what they want to do. Maybe they'll offer you some more support. Maybe they won't do anything. But on my end, I have to tell them that you are missing one credit. I go into Infinite Campus. I put it in the system. That's my job. That's what I have to do. Okay. If you do decide that you do want to come back to NVLA next year, you have to take summer school. There is no, I'll just come back and it'll be fine. You do have to take summer school so that you can come back. So what about next year if you don't have all of your credits? All right, so I went through this a little bit before, but this is the official answer to the question. What if you don't have all your credits? This is more than just a semester with academic probation. This could be an entire year's worth of credits missing. This could be a whole semester's worth of credits missing. Okay, here are your choices. Think about what's best for you and what you're really going to do. If you want to stay at NVLA and fail everything because it was easy, let me tell you, high school is harder and the credits matter. So you're going to have more work to do and it's going to be harder later. So think about that. Is that something that you want to keep doing? Do you want to just keep failing and kind of be in school? Or do you actually want to achieve a goal like graduating and getting a job that you enjoy, or living out on your own, or having a car, or moving out of state? If you have some other things that you want to do with your life, maybe now is the time to recognize maybe this easy path isn't helping me. Maybe I do need to challenge myself a little bit. So here are some choices for you. You can return to NVLA next year as an 8th grader. If you don't do anything, that's the plan. We put you on the retention list. You'll be in 8th grade next year. I've only had 2 kids out of the 25 that came back to NVLA get their credits for promotion. Everybody else lost a year, and then they'll just go to high school because they can't stay in middle school anymore. They'll be too old. Okay? So it's really important that you decide what you want to do and make a choice, because you do have choices, but it requires action. The next one is you can return to in-person at 8th grade again at another middle school. And the third thing is you can return in person for high school if the school you are enrolling at accepts you without your total number of credits. I will warn you, some schools are not accepting students that don't have all of their credits. Maybe your high school will, maybe they won't. It's up to them to decide. So you can try, but if they don't, there are going to be some consequences for that. Okay. So the last one is more information. It's what you get to choose to do. So let's say you aren't sure about NVLA. Maybe there were too many classes. Maybe it was a lot of extra work. Maybe you didn't get along with your teachers. Maybe you just want to try something else. Maybe you've got some health problems and you can't go to an in-person school. What can you do? Well, I encourage you to check out other virtual options. We do have several. All right. So you can register for another online charter school like Nevada Connections Academy. There is the Nevada Virtual Charter School, or there's Odyssey Charter School. Odyssey is a hybrid. You do some in person, you do some online. Nevada Virtual Charter School, they have some in-person support as well. It's kind of like on their days, their small group days, they do have teachers available to help. Okay. And then Nevada Connections Academy is a little bit more self-driven. So if you are motivated, then maybe one of those would be a better fit for you than us. All right. So they offer a few different things. They do things a little bit differently, but it's still online. So those are some options for you to look at to see if something else would be a better fit. All right. Going through, this is for promotion. This is what you need to do if to get ready for high school. Okay, so you're going to check your email for promotion information. That's what you're probably doing right now. Sign up for summer school if you need to sign up, which most of you probably should do. You have to turn in your Chromebook by July 25th. If you are attending summer school, you have until the 25th to turn your Chromebook back into the school. If you do not return your Chromebook, when you go to your new school, they're going to give you their Chromebook and you're still responsible. You'll get charged a fine. So make sure that you return your Chromebook back to NVLA before you go to your new school. It's very, very important. All right. Now, let's say you decided you're not going to come back to NVLA. You're going to go to a different school. What are the steps for that? So your parents have to fill out the online registration portion. And that's where they update all of their stuff and accept that you are going to be enrolled in a specific school. If you're not sure what school that would be, there's a link for the zoning search where you can use your address to look up where your new school would be. Are you interested in looking at a magnet school? Magnet schools have all kinds of different options. That's what magnets are, is to attract things. So it's attracting a program that you enjoy with something that is being offered in CCSD. So if you are interested in looking at some magnet school options, there are still some late applications being accepted, and they will be accepted through the first 2 weeks of the new school year. So if you're looking for something different, maybe you are really into robotics, maybe you're really excited about being a teacher, maybe you are interested in the law, right? There's all kinds of different magnet programs out there that could be interesting to you, and high school has a ton of them. So look at the magnet school options. Maybe that will be something that'll make you want to try something new or give you a little hope for the future that there are things that are interesting and there are cool things out there that you can still do. Okay. Then you're going to check enrollment information. If you do know what school you're going to, or you do have a spot at your magnet school, you're going to check information at your new school and go to their website and find out what you need to bring. Chances are you're going to need your birth certificate, shot records, and the place where your family lives. So like a lease agreement, a power bill, something that shows that your family has an address. If your family doesn't have an address, let's say that they're in between houses, or that you are living with your grandma because you guys are saving up money, or you're living with a friend, that's important to tell them too. They can still help you, and it's called Title I Hope, and they can get you set up in that program. But make sure that you tell them if that's what's going on. All right. They can't read your mind. You got to let them know. Okay. The next one, let's say you do need some immunizations. You don't have any money. The UNLV Pediatric Clinic goes to the Family Support Center on Maryland Parkway in Sahara and offers free immunizations. The thing is, though, you have to make an appointment. That's on the link here. It'll show you all the information. What if you live far away from your school? Okay. Charter schools don't offer transportation, and magnet schools and homeschools, zoned schools do, but you need to live at least 2 miles away from that school. So if you don't, and you need to walk to get to school, or find a friend, or ride a bike, whatever you need to do so that you can walk safely, there's options for that too. And now is the time to start thinking about how are you going to get to school safely? I really recommend riding the bus because it does make things a lot easier for traffic at school. But if you have to walk, see if you can find some friends that can walk with you. All right. What if you need transportation or you don't know if you have transportation? There's a link so you can check transportation. Okay. The next one, what if you want to do sports in high school? This is very important, especially if you've been with NVLA a long time and you have not been doing sports, but you want to do it in high school. You need to have a sports physical. And let me tell you, so many of my students that have waited missed deadlines because they weren't able to get their sports physicals in time. And so they weren't able to play the sports that they wanted because they waited too long. Summer break is the perfect time to get your sports physical. Okay. The UNLV Pediatric Clinic, the one that does the immunizations, they also do sports physicals too. But remember, you have to get an appointment, and please make sure you keep your appointment. Okay. The last thing is to enjoy your summer break. We want you to have a great time. This is your time to rest and recharge and spend time with your friends and drink Slurpees at the pool. This is what you've worked so hard for all year. I hope that you found this information helpful. Just know that we want the best for you. We want you to make choices that are going to help you grow. And sometimes that means we have to say, you can be a little bit better. And that is what retention is. It's saying you still have some work to do, and we want to help you do it. And sometimes that means saying, no, you don't have everything you need. No, sometimes you do have things that you need to do differently. Sometimes you do have to be told, no, you really have made a mistake here. And so we're not doing this to punish you. We're not doing this to fail you on purpose. That's the last thing we want to do. But we do want to let you know that there are standards that we want you to learn to make sure that you're successful when you go to high school. And if you haven't completed those, high school is going to be harder. And we don't want that for you. We want you to be able to be successful and feel confident about all the hard work that you've done. And that doesn't happen until you take action in your own life and you do your best to get better. So this is an opportunity to find a path that's going to help you get better. Okay. If you have any other questions about retention or what that means, please let me know. But please, please, please read the documentation and get all the information. It's really hard for me to respond to everybody's emails when I send out these videos, when I send out this information, and everything's in the document, and then people respond asking me questions that I've already answered. This is why I send out the emails. This is why I make the videos. So please, please, please read the documentation that you've been provided. And then if you still have a question, please ask. Okay. I hope that you have a great year next year. I hope you have a wonderful summer. I have enjoyed and learned so much being your counselor this year. And I hope that you get all your information that you need. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.